Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Nerd Today Reacts. I'm your host, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your Nerd Today, Carlos Rodriguez, and we are here with our reactions of the Mr. Anuma gameplay demonstration for Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Now, is this my second time filming this? Absolutely yes, because I did everything, but did not transition to where you would see the trailer with me. It was just my face, and I'm an idiot. So you guys didn't need to know that. It is what it is. But before we get off to that, I do want to give a shout out to our Patreons, our March Patreons right out there. Thank you so much. We have Jeff. I did not forget, we have not cleaned the house, but I'm going to give you that PS4. Thank you for texting me. Susan, Brandon, hopefully also Matt, Maggie, and so much more. So thank you so much for supporting me over at patreon.com/nerdtoday. Links are all down below. I'm going to switch over here. Yeah, because again, I did watch this whole trailer. We're gonna watch it again, and then I have some interesting I want to bring up. So
Hello everyone, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series.
so we'll fast forward just because I was reacting freshly to it, but Anuma does mention that the whole game is complete start to finish. It has not gone gold yet, but it is playable start to finish. So gold status should be arriving very soon. I'm assuming like in the next 2 weeks. But we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna fast forward right here to
Begin.
Anuma playing and some of the new
Here we are
gameplay things
in the
we
land
get.
of Hyrule.
I do want to mention, like, if you can see right here, I love this like line, like hurt pattern he has on his left. Also, I just like these like sandals he's rocking, like they look cool, and his toga. Oh, I dig it.
Like the Legend of Zelda Breath of the
I dig it a
Wild,
lot.
there's a vast world to explore. Of course, it's not just the same world as is. It's changed in many ways. If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll seek them out for yourself when the game launches.
There's a lot of changes, I will say. And I'll
In
bring
this
in
game, the
a
vast world of
problem I
Hyrule
have with the trailer specifically at
reaches
the end
high
here.
into the sky. You'll notice some land masses floating up there. We call them Sky Islands. You're probably wondering something. How do you get to the Sky Islands when they're so high up? If we take a look, oh, something's falling from the sky. Do you see
I'm
it?
interested to see what
I wonder what that is.
So we'll find out one of the new abilities in a moment, but what this is right here in this top right corner, if you're watching, see my little cursor. What is this? Is this a way to ascend to the sky in a different way? Obviously, in this we're seeing new
Let's head over to it.
gameplay things you could do with Link.
We're almost at the spot where the object fell. Here it is. Okay, let's
to
use
see
one
the
of Link's
marker.
new abilities. If you do this on the rock that just fell, look, it started rising. This power is known as recall, which rewinds an object's movement.
Recall. Okay, so this is recall.
Since I just used recall,
It seems like
on
there
the
might be a
fallen
time
rock,
limit, as
I
you
can
see on
now
the
rise
bottom
into the
there.
sky. We're a lot closer to the Sky
You see
Islands.
Anuma
Let's
raises
use the
stuff. It's got to go
paraglider to
one
reach one
island.
of them.
That dive, I don't know why that freaks me
There are
out
a few
still.
other
Like, bro,
Sky
you're gonna
Islands
die.
floating here too.
Did you see what was up
I
with his
made it.
arm? Is he missing an arm? Is it just that
There are
badly
lots
damaged?
of ways to reach the
Yeah. What is this? What is this? Is this a former boss from Ocarina of Time and or Wind Waker?
Sky Islands, so we hope
We'll
you'll try
see.
a few different methods. Okay, now we're on a slightly bigger Sky Island. Just like on the surface, there are several man-made structures.
Now, I will say that the sense of scale that we're getting in this Zelda game is very, very interesting. It's very cool. I do love it. You can see so many of the Sky Islands in the background here, or in the horizon, should I say? It's very interesting.
Some trees are also growing here. You won't see many of those yellow trees on the surface, though. Let's walk around for a bit. There's a branch on the ground. When you find something like this, you should pick it up. It might come in handy later. Let's continue. Oh, something's there. This is a brand new enemy called a construct. We'll fight it using the branch we just picked up. Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch
I love
and
the translation. I don't know why.
we defeated it.
Boom, defeated it. Now, so we have it's a soldier construct,
Moving on.
a Zoni charge. What is that? Zoni charge. It's very interesting, right?
We've now explored more of this sky island. As expected, fighting with just a branch won't get us very far. Also, this branch is almost broken. So here's another one of Link's new abilities. If we use this branch and the rock over here, and do this, look, we can stick them together. We created a makeshift hammer. This is called fuse.
Now we
You
have
can
fuse.
stick objects together to create new weapons with various effects.
I do
Let's
like
take on another
some of
construct
the
with this fused weapon.
examples they do give of fuse. I think it's pretty funny,
We're
really
dealing with
cool,
two
and
of them at
creativity is
once.
definitely going to be the highlight of this game.
Oh, we beat one. The weapon's attack has definitely improved. The other branch broke, but this weapon has much better durability.
I also do like if it seems like I believe I forget, maybe it was Kotaku, maybe it was GameSpot who mentioned that it looks like all the stuff that many Breath of the Wild players were doing back in the day with like just not breaking the game, but like we're doing crazy stuff in this game. With like the different abilities and like magnetize like a metal thing over lava and like that's how they're bypassing areas and stuff. I think the Zelda team in Anuma were like inspired by the fandom's creativity in that sense, and like basically, well, we can make that a gameplay mechanic.
You can do all sorts of things by experimenting with the fuse
Because
ability.
now it's like, what are you gonna do now with all these
You can fuse
abilities,
two
right? Like,
weapons, for example.
I bet they're
If we
dying to
take
see.
this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork, we can create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
Super stabby.
With this, we don't have to get too close to enemies, and we can safely attack
Stab,
from a
stab,
distance.
stab, 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 stab.
You can also fuse arrows with materials in your inventory.
This is really cool. I will say the fuse
For
ability
instance,
with that. is
try
pretty
fusing
cool.
this leaf to an arrow.
Like, what does that do? Let's be honest. Like, what does that
Fuse
do?
an ice elemental material to an arrow, and
Now, this is cool. White choo choo jelly.
you can freeze faraway enemies.
That's gonna be so useful in the field.
Very useful.
And it's gonna give you new
In
stuff you
addition-
can do with different
let's
ingredients,
see.
let's say, or different items that you get off
There's
the
a bird
enemies.
flying around. If you're out hunting, you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult. Apparently, my eyes can't track fast-moving objects as of late, so my shots rarely land. So at times like these, here's an eyeball you can get by
I
defeating
think
monsters.
this is insane. Again, the Keese
Fuse it to
eyeball.
an arrow and... Look, it homed in on the target.
Killing a bird with that. That's crazy. It's like it's a homing
Let's try this
missile.
on another bird. I'll just fire in that general direction. It's very simple.
Right in the butthole.
Depending on what you stick together, the fuse ability could also be beneficial for hunting. I fused a mushroom to my shield. Now, you're probably wondering if this has any use. Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom. Let's fight an enemy with this.
You know, obviously
I
they
blocked
show it
with
in
the
the trailer, but how
shield.
funny he was like, well, you're gonna
Okay,
find
there's
out for the
smoke
full
now.
release. I'm like, what?
The enemies lost sight of Link, so... Attack!
Sneaky strike.
Even if
Got
you
you,
struggle
son.
with combat, you can take down enemies using similar methods. In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game, fusing even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more gameplay options for sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands even have rivers. We'll want to cross this one, but swimming across it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat. Of course, there isn't anything that resembles a boat around here. So, we'll lift up this log and attach it to a second log. Let's do one more. We'll bring this over here and attach a third log. It's a makeshift raft. This is another new ability called Ultra Hand. Even though the
Ultra
logs
Hand.
are currently attached, they can be detached. Let's modify the shape of the raft. you can always attach things or detach them like this. Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. We've made a simplified version of a boat. However,
I love
it
it.
won't move
It's a
in its
boat.
current state, so
The
we'll
Y
need
wing,
something to
sir.
propel it forward.
I used to make wide wings because poor.
There's something here. Let's try hitting it.
Let's smack it. Could have been a bomb, Mr.
Oh,
Ayuma.
wind. It's blowing wind. Looks like we found a fan. Why don't we try attaching it?
You know what? This is very random. I'm just looking at the mini map now, but it's interesting when you see on the bottom right here with the mini map how it shows depth within. Like in my head, I could delineate where like this is taller than this, which is taller than this. Like like it's almost like a step up pattern. It's kind of interesting. I do like you rotate stuff because I
We'll
literally
attach
the first time I
another
watched this, I was like, "What?
This should make the boat well
Can you move it
balanced."
around?" Because I remember like you would try like if I hold it here for 2 seconds against this rock, and maybe it'll just
Okay, they're attached. All right, let's try moving the boat. Hey, it's moving.
just a good old
It's
boy.
sailing pretty fast with the wind from the fans.
Never meaning no harm. I don't know
Since
why Deuce
we
has it
added
popped
2
in my head.
fans, we should be able to cross the river in no time.
Well, I would assume so, Mr. Yuma.
All right, we reached the other
All
side.
right, yeah.
In the most recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine. Those vehicles
insane.
actually aren't in the game from the start. Instead, you'll be able to freely craft them on your own. There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game. And depending on how you use your imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things
Yeah.
and explore this world at your leisure.
Onward.
There are even more new abilities. Take
This
this
one's
building
cool.
over here. Okay, watch this.
So they call this Ascend. I will call this
Look,
Lemillion.
I passed right through the ceiling.
You're a My Hero
This
Academia
new
fan.
ability is called Ascend. If you're in a place with a ceiling, you can go through
Sir, I've watched. It's a quirk, okay?
to the floor
Lemillion
above
has
you.
it, all right?
There are some restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere.
That's gonna be so cool. I think it's gonna help,
For
especially
example,
in combat and
this place
close
has a
quarters.
cave with a hill right above it. If we use the ability here,
Deuces. Looks like
come
swimming.
on, keep going.
This is literally what. Well, Lemillion's
Okay,
naked as well.
We emerged at the top of the hill. In the previous
Well,
game,
sir, yeah,
you
you're
had to
wearing,
use
like,
stamina to climb a mountain.
sandals.
But in this game,
I'd be
if
cold
there's
as
a
well.
mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up. Here's another example.
And don't tell me.
Imagine you're stuck in a cage. If it's got a ceiling, you know what to do, right? Exactly.
I was also gonna say that
Oh,
it's the
there's
kitty
another
pride.
construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are equipped with fused weapons, so battles will play out a bit differently from the previous game. Ah, it blew me away with wind.
Get out of here, sir. Get
Looks
out
like
of
it's
here.
got some sort of fan. Ah!
Get out of here.
I
Get
got
off my
pushed
island.
off.
Get off my porch, boy.
Oh well, let's just return to the surface.
That Zoni is like very racist.
You can quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this.
Where we
It
dropping,
feels
boys?
so good.
Where
In
we
the
going? Where we
sky,
dropping?
you'll be able to look out across
Tilted's
the
over
land.
there.
You can also search for destinations that pique your interest.
I don't know any of the locations.
Once
There's
you've
Fortnite
chosen
for
your
that joke.
destination, you can speed things up, like this.
I'm getting
Let's
anxiety
dive into this
from
river.
just watching Link. Again, no bones. He'd just
And
be
we're back on the
dust
surface.
inside of his jelly body. He would be dead. No,
There's
he would be
still
dead.
so many
There's
things
so
I'd like
many
to
rocks.
show you, but
He'd
let's
be-
leave
he'd
it
be
at
dead.
that for now.
I knew it. He would be dead. He would be dead.
What did you think? Some
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. That is kind of what we were talking about. Um, so something I wanted to discuss to end this reaction video. Um, just so we can see, we are watching it in 1080 HD, right? And I mean, I'd be remiss not to mention the fact that the game does look beautiful. Actually, I'm gonna transition back and I want to show like just have like this kind of play. The game does look beautiful, right? The draw distance seems similar to what we've seen with Breath of the Wild. Graphics wise, I don't know why to me it seems worse. Um, and I don't necessarily need like the game to run in 4K though. Will lie, be awesome. In 60 frames per second, 1080 and 60 frames per second would be amazing in this game. Um, it's difficult, and I'm really worried of how this is going to run on day one. Because I know there was issues with was it Scarlet and Violet for Pokemon, which is another open world game. I know it's not like the Game Freak; they're the ones who made that game and stuff. But if you look here, like it is pretty. Don't get me wrong, and the fact of what this game can do, right? That's kind of like what is propelling this game this time around, right? It is Breath of the Wild, but with more tools and more things that you can do, more creativity. Um, again, I believe it was GameSpot or probably Kotaku who mentioned, um, it seems like Anuma and all were like inspired by the community, like showing stuff on Twitter where you see someone like grab a metal grate and just like magnetize himself across a volcano, to bypass so many areas. Something similar to that. Um, I think we have a lot here though. Obviously now we have built up, into the sky. Who knows if we built lower? I know that it seems like a lot of trailers, at least story content, has them underground in some way, shape, or form. Um, I have a feeling this is gonna be, and I don't mean it in like in a different way. It's gonna be a darker take, like a Twilight Princess, a Majora's Mask to Breath of the Wild, even though Breath of the Wild, it's not. I'm not necessarily a kiddie, and neither are those, but there is a sense of urgency and dread to Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess that's inherent in those games. And I think we're gonna get something to a certain degree with that in this, especially with some of the story trailers that we've seen. We don't know what happens to Zelda. Why does Link not have the Master Sword right now? What is up with his arm? Is it completely destroyed off? Is it cut off, or is it just badly damaged? Um, that we have a lot of questions, obviously, for story content. I still believe that we're gonna get some kind of tie to Twilight Princess and the Twilight people from that realm. I think they're gonna come back in one way, shape, or form. I think we're gonna tie in multiple games here. I think we're gonna tie in multiple stories. And I could be wrong. It's Nintendo. It's Zelda. You never know, right? But I don't know. That's kind of a hope I have here. And then another thing too is again, as beautiful it does look for a Switch game, and I do have to unfortunately put quotations for a Switch game. We need a hardware revision or upgrade. Pardon me, not a revision. We don't need like a point 0.5. We need a 2, or even at this point a 2.5 for Switch, right? Don't take naming conventions from Kingdom Hearts. I'm just saying, just a 2 or a 2.5 at this point. We should have been on. Um, there are updated Tegra chips that the Switch uses that would be so beneficial. And in my mind, and in the previous time I recorded this, I mentioned multiple SKUs, right? I would love to have maybe a full bundle SKU that is, hey, this is your first time jumping into the Switch, family, or hey, you just want more Joy Cons or whatever, and this is the new dock with the new Switch and Joy Cons, or hey, this is just the dock and the Switch itself, no Joy Cons whatsoever. You are just getting specifically the screen, which is the bulk of the machine, and a new dock to compensate for what processing power it has for all the new stuff, the new Tegra chip, anything like that it's running. You can transfer your micro SD card over. There's a transfer process, so your data's transferred over, and this is your Switch 2. You can use your Joy Cons, you can use your Pro controller with the Switch 2. I would love to see something like that. just don't think we're gonna get something like that, unfortunately. And I think I don't know when the time is for that. I feel Tears of the Kingdom is the perfect title for that, right? It obviously runs on the Switch, but it could be so much better on a Switch too. Um, we all know that. I think we all feel that, and I'd just be remiss not to mention the fact that we should have some kind of hardware upgrade at this point. And I know we'll get it. I just don't know when and what the rollout of their next hardware is going to be, because they're weird, and Nintendo makes weird Nintendo decisions. But that is it for this episode of Their Day Reacts. We're going to be done here watching The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Mr. Anuma gameplay demonstration. Thank you for rocking with me at Nerd Day. All my links are down below. Podcast, anchor.fm/Nerd Twitch.tv/Nerd for my live content. VODs from that would be on youtube.com/Nerd which you're already here. Just subscribe, hit the notification bell, please, and thank you. Um, and if you like video podcasts, the podcast is here in video form. And if you want to throw me a couple bucks, help me get a new video card for this beautiful machine over here, so editing goes a lot faster. You can support me over at patreon.com/nerdday. And thank you so much. Or maybe a Steam Deck. No, not Steam Deck. Stream Deck. I do want a Steam Deck though. A Stream Deck, so I can just hit a button and keep looking at your beautiful faces. But till next time, I'll see you guys later. I had to make sure I hit the button.